Hello and welcome to my Women in Health Tech series. I'm Zeta Jhanji. I'm lead data and analytics consultant from Digital Gurus Health, where I founded this series to provide a no boundaries platform for the NHS and the health tech sector. So today I'm joined by a real key woman in analytics who's putting patient needs first through so much innovative data work at East of England ambulance service. But before we get into the questions, Zoe, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Zoe Collis, Head of Information and Analytics at East of England Ambulance Service. So dealing with a lot of the information flows in and outside of the organisation.
Amazing, thank you. And you've had a very interesting journey starting out as a call handler within the NHS. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and how you actually got into data and analytics?
Sure. So yes, I started when I was 18 actually as a call handler in the emergency control room and really felt the benefits of helping those callers in their moment of need. So I really started to build my love for the organisation and making a difference to people at that early stage. I was asked to move out to support some of the projects ongoing at the time around analytics, which I really enjoyed. And that's when I kind of got the thirst to learn more around the scripting elements and back end of the data systems. So I've gradually kind of self-taught and been on many courses over the years around business analysis and SQL servers and different analytical backgrounds. So that's how I've kind of built up my knowledge in the service. So I've obviously been in the service quite a while and gradually made my way up through the different roles. So to some length of service is seen as a benefit. Obviously, I understand our organisation and some of the wider system through the networks that I'm involved in my managerial role. It can be seen as a bit of a siloed view, but to me, I disagree with that because data never stands still. So we're always growing and changing the way that we interrogate the data and provide that outcome to customers. So it's a ever-changing environment.
Yeah, completely agree, completely agree. And I guess you've obviously kept those patient values very close to you. So, no, that's amazing. And I guess what's made you stay within the profession and within the NHS?
Yeah, and it is what you touched on there, Zeta. So that impact on the patient, that's really important to me. Um, I I've looked at other roles outside of the NHS during my career, but I don't think I'm kind of wired to have that drive to make money. To me, it's about making a difference and seeing that impact on patient care. And we do see that within our role. So some of the changes that we can advise on to our operational colleagues, we can see the outcome of those in a positive or negative way, do those lessons learned and make other suggestions and recommendations. We can really follow it through to the end of the patient journey. So it is about the difference that we can make as an informatics team is something quite different, even to an acute background, because we have a different data set to them. We're starting from their house potentially, or where the incident or accident occurred. We can really follow that through all of the treatment plan to hospital or further care. So for me, it is around being able to make that difference and impact on individuals.
100%, and obviously doing such a worthwhile job. Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. And you've obviously just touched on it there, but East of England Ambulance Service, you guys are adopting a lot of key technologies. Could you go into some of these and I guess what the end goal is as well for those?
Sure. So we're always looking to improve how data is accessible to our organisation, so our managers, our staff, but also to patients. So there's a big project at the moment ongoing called a data lake, where we're integrating lots of different systems from across our organisation that usually provide a single output, to incorporate those to provide a trust-wide view and dashboard vision to our managers. We'll also use that to feed our board report, which is obviously shared externally. So that is really going to have such an impact across the organisation and to our customers, if you like, and our board members, our local residents can see where we are compared to other national trusts, but also about areas we're looking to improve on and any initiatives that we're looking into. We've also been moving our data warehouse into the cloud and other systems which have been on premise. We're looking to continue the process to move as many of those as we can into the cloud infrastructure. Also looking at different mapping solutions. So again, looking at our geographical boundaries, the demographics of patients are very different. We have a lot of rural and urban areas which provide very different demands. So we're just bringing in a new solution, and we've introduced a new role into the organisation which will be able to look at those change modelling ideas. And if we're looking to put a new ambulance station in, for instance, we can say what impact that would have on patients compared to where they're responding to now. So it's quite some key roles that we're bringing in, which are going to help us to just embrace those things moving forwards and continue the education of our staff, but also of patients.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. And obviously, yeah, trying to highlight the data and the new roles. I absolutely love that. So I'm excited to see how that all pans out. But just out of everything you've mentioned, what do you personally think is going to be the most revolutionary aspect of the transformation that you go through at the moment?
Hmm. So that's definitely going to be the data lake for me. So we're just embarking on phase 3 of that. We've got 2 systems in the lake at the moment. A further 2 are in UAT currently. So when they're all in the lake, we can integrate that information. There's common metrics across a lot of the different systems, which we can then integrate and provide that dashboard view, that single source of the truth, that one place that managers can go to see all of the information they need to see for the day, as opposed to going to 3 or 4 different systems. So for me, that is the big piece. We've been able to release some dashboards externally as well during the pandemic. There's lots of things that we've had to create quite quickly to provide that dashboard view to colleagues around tracking of COVID patients and different risk assessments for staff, for instance. So we've embarked on a lot of new technology during the pandemic, but I think for me, the data lake is going to be the one thing that changes the way our organisation uses and accesses data.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, because I know we've obviously spoken before and you've been really passionate about having that huge 360 view and just really making people's lives easier and hopefully saving more people's lives as well. So I absolutely love that. And just in terms of the technology, so you've really been able to lead from the front and adapt these technologies that are a lot of other trusts haven't put into practice yet. Why do you think that is?
So BI is quite a hard area to sometimes get everybody on board with and to see the benefits. So for me, it is really about showcasing what benefits the organisation are going to see, what benefits are each of the individuals in the management structure going to see, the individual areas. So being able to clearly define what you're going to see, for instance, or what I'm going to see is how you get people on board. You're right. We are the first ambulance service to create a data lake, but then there's other providers that we've spoken to that have done it. So we've been able to sort of use some evidence from their findings, their lessons learnt, for instance, and learn from that. And we are sharing this process as we move through it with our colleagues at other trusts to showcase the difficulties we've had along the way, so that they don't have to go through the same process, which is really important, I think.
Yeah, no, that information sharing, I think especially with COVID, we are seeing it more, and hopefully with the ICSs as well. So no, that's really great that you're obviously ahead of the curve on that side. And you have got a great team. So how do you promote diversity within the team? Because we've discussed before, you've been very fortunate about the team that you have. And could you just tell us a bit more about that? Because for me, you're obviously doing something right.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I've always embraced diversity. So going back to your first question around my role and how long I've been in the organisation, um, there's some things that I won't have seen because I have been in the one organisation. So I think it's good to embrace it. Everybody who has been through a different path in life has a different view and different motivators. So it's important to understand and educate ourselves on what motivates people, because that can be quite different depending on backgrounds or education even. So for me, it's just about getting to know each staff member. Everybody's different, and we can't just treat everybody the same. That's not how things work, really. So, yeah, for me, it's about understanding it, embracing it, and educating others to do the same. Because otherwise, we can just have that one siloed view, which isn't going to help us grow and learn, and being able to learn some of those techniques from others is really key to me. So
Yeah, no, I love that, especially as you go through such a diverse data program as well. I guess that's obviously going to be really key for some of the other hires that you make across the organization. So no, I really love that. And just as a final note, I'm sort of itching to know what gets you up in the morning as a key woman in analytics in the role that you do.
yeah, so I think every day is different in the ambulance service. So it's a new day to grow and learn, and I really enjoy seeing my team learn new things and the enthusiasm it gives them when they learn that new thing, whether it's from me or from somebody else in the team. That's quite key to me. I love to encourage people to grow and expand their knowledge. And yeah, we make mistakes, but that's how we learn. So we are all human at the end of the day. And I think um, when you're able to recognize areas that you can develop yourself, and you're able to voice when you need some additional help or you have made an error, that's when you're ready to move up to that leadership role. And that's quite key for me. I like to develop the team to be able to recognise some of those things, so and continue to make a difference. So for me, it's about getting up, seeing what's on the plate today, what's coming overnight whilst I've been asleep, and working through that. Everything makes a difference in our role and our organisation, and um, the organisation and the exec team recognise that data is important. So we've got that buy-in, that interest, and that there's always something new that's waiting to work through every day. So
No, that's amazing, Zoe. Honestly, everything you've said is just very much a breath of fresh air. Just everything makes a difference the patient needs, and you're doing that through technology. So thank you so very much for joining me today. And I do wish you all the best on the Data Lake program and wider transformation.
thank you. I'll keep you updated.
Of course. Thanks, everyone.